Oftentimes what I hear from parents is really a lot of frustration around their child's ability to follow directions, to listen to what they're saying, to be respectful, to have motivation, to want to do these things, intrinsically. And that can feel really frustrating as a parent when you don't know exactly how to do that.
Parents, when they have multiple kids, sometimes try to set up individual attention for each kid. Your kids want to know that you're noticing them and that you appreciate what activities they're personally involved in. That attention alone is much more likely to decrease the frequency of these problematic behaviors.
My 19-year-old who lives at home, he pushes back every single second. I ask him to do anything, dishes this. For him, it's a big joke. He just, all the time wants to see where my limit is.
I can't even tell you how many times in the middle of the day that I got a call from his school and he was in a fight and I had to come pick him up or help solve the problem.
When we're thinking about how to promote good behavior, we're really setting clear expectations around what it is that we want to see in a specific setting, in a specific way, and also making sure that those expectations actually are something that our child can do.
We think of lots of different ways that parents can celebrate kids being good, from just verbal affirmation, or a high five, or telling a kid that you're really proud of them for what actually happened, all the way up to stickers and art projects and little certificates that you might make for your kid that show that you think they really achieved something. The more ways we find to give that positive feedback, the more a kid feels like you're appreciating the effort and the ways they're trying to improve their behavior.
Wait, you're smashing a little one.
I like to tell people when they're doing well. And so when my kids help out, I'm the first. Oh my God, you did a great job.
Trying to correct certain behaviors. When it comes to Kairos, it has to be more rewards, being told constantly that you are a good kid. That just was a bad choice.
Don't mess this up.
When my children acting out, I feel very angry, upset. Sometimes I know it's because they need my attention. Me being a single mother, I understand that I can't always be there, so they are going to act out. They get that reaction like, hey, why'd you do that? So they get it. They're like, so I'm going to push that button again. So they get some form of attention.
I will sometimes respond to that intense, disrespectful behavior by being intense and disrespectful myself. That's not what I'm proud of, but that happens. Then sometimes my other kids will come to the rescue and they'll step in, and then I'll have a minute to myself and be able to come back and kind of reset with a different energy level.
If your kid has done this thing and you are super frustrated, super angry, I understand. And that is not the time to give a consequence. And it's not the time to lay out rules. Really, it's the time to either take a deep breath, remove yourself, and actually narrate that. Like, I feel really frustrated right now. I'm gonna take a beat. I'm gonna calm myself down, and then we're gonna come back and have a discussion.
My nature is to be like, it'll be okay. Like, really almost not to give a consequence. But I've learned that I have to give a consequence or they'll just keep pushing me over, more and more.
Consequences are tough when it's a foster kid. It was consequence enough for him most of the time when we would just make him sit down and talk to us. He was like dreading every second of it, so.
When thinking about consequences, a lot of times the questions that we get are parents asking us, can I use a kind of strict form of discipline that I had in my family growing up? And what we know from the research is that harsh and inconsistent discipline doesn't work. It tends to hurt parent-child relationships, and it doesn't actually improve behavior. The main thing for parents to think about when it comes to consequences is making sure the consequences are immediate, meaning they happen right after the behavior. They're brief, meaning you can serve the consequence and then return to normal life, and they're consistently applied. Every time you see that behavior, you might have a chance to put that consequence in place.
And you usually want to start fresh the next day. You want to give your child a chance to do the thing that you want them to do, right? And so you don't want them just to continuously sit in the consequence. We want to give them a chance to really do that behavior.
My kids know that they're going to be in trouble before they get in trouble. They're very aware. If you do A, B, and C, that's going to cause these actions.
Well, now instead of pulling him out and yelling at him, now I'm pulling him out. I'm saying, what's going on over there? Talk to me, getting him to explain how he's feeling. Well, what could you do different? Why don't we try that? And then he goes in, tries his solution. It works. He comes up to me, hey, Daddy, I did this. Yeah, great, buddy. And then we just move on from there.
I mean, I've told him that I'm your father. I'm just here to help mold you, help guide you.
The strategies that we're talking about, of setting expectations, of catching kids being good, of giving these immediate consequences, those strategies have to be applied over time. We may not see behavior change on the span of a single day. It's more that over the course of weeks or months, we notice significant changes when these strategies are applied consistently.
Good behavior for me, for my children, is them being themselves, but having discipline.
When it comes to rules with my parents and like the ground rules that they set for me, it's kind of like, Isaac, you have this level of trust, and like as long as you don't break it, you're free to kind of like do your own thing in a way. And it's not like, oh, like we don't care about anything that's going on in your life. It's more like we trust you to like go out and not do anything stupid, you know?
We are mostly good kids. I'm a pretty good kid. We just listen, sometimes complain, and then do.